We continue work at Ukraine Crisis Media Center, and now we are going to speak about participation of Ukrainian soldiers in the 42nd marathon in the U.S. Marines. So our speakers are Vadym Svyrydenko, Commissioner of the President of Ukraine on rehabilitation of ATO participants who got injured, concussion or other illness while participating in the ATO operation, and participant of the 41st marathon by Skype, also Volodymyr Havrylov, General Military Attache of Ukraine in the U.S., Stuart, a representative of the Allied Forces Foundation, also via Skype, Olena Tsymbaliuk, official representative of Canadian-Ukrainian International Fund, support in Ukraine, Arsenii Bilodub, the representative of the Ministry of Defense, Kateryna Mashko, representative of the Office of Commissioner of the President of Ukraine for Rehabilitation of ATO participants, Yurii, Finohenov, head of the department, Finohenov, the participant of the last year's marathon, Vadym Svyrydenko, a member of the last year's marathon. Welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to greet all those who are present here in this hall, and also I'm glad that we have continuation of the previous year event. Last year, Ukraine for the first time took part in the 41st marathon in the United States. This event is held for many years. This is the biggest marathon after Boston and New York Marathon. More than 30,000 people participate, and it was created, and the tradition continues, in order that wounded servicemen were able to support themselves, to support their families, and to show examples to others how to live. And last year, Ukraine was represented by a group of wounded servicemen. These were 4 people who participated in the marathon for 10 kilometers, and this resulted in positive outcomes, and there were many events held after this, and it helped not only to improve support to Ukraine, but also to engage those people and to provide understanding to people about Ukraine. So those people who have shown that they can take part in marathon even while being wounded, so they were good representatives of our country in the United States. So we presented those people, and each of them will tell several words. And these are the representatives of the Ministry of Defense, the representatives of the sponsors, and the guys who took part in the marathon last year. And this year, we have 10 places. This is 2 times more than last year. And the organizers of the marathon provide housing for our wounded servicemen at the base, and also they help us with transportation, and we should select guys for this event, and we should find funds for their flight to America. And we hope that everything will be okay. And I would like to start and give the floor to the most important people who support this marathon. I would like to start with Volodymyr Svyrydenko, who is in Washington at the moment, and he participates at the international conference on the issues of rehabilitation of the wounded. And Vadym was on the team last year, and he ran for 10 kilometers, and he was the best in his category. And people remember him, and they remember his black T-shirt, and it was inscription Ukrainian Army on his T-shirt. Now I give the floor to Vadym, and he is going to tell us about his ideas on the matter. So, please, Vadym. Good afternoon. I'm really in Washington now. It's very pleasant to represent Ukraine in this marathon. This was just great inspiration, and we showed the best results. We were 4 servicemen, and we participated in different categories. and now I'm the representative of the President of Ukraine for rehabilitation of ATO servicemen. And this year we were provided with 10 places, and we believe that Ukraine will show best results. This is not only the marathon for 10 kilometers, and the guys will participate also. Sasha Pelivchi or other guys, they will participate, and for the distance of 42 kilometers, and we will show that Ukraine moves ahead, and we will help other guys. So they wait for us here in the autumn, and we will participate in this marathon. Thank you. So now I would like to give the floor to Kateryna Mashko, who also accompanied the group last year, and she will actively work in the preparation of the team this year, and maybe she will add something on the matter. Thank you. So I would like to speak about organizational issues today. We will have all the contacts on the screen, and you can contact us. We have a page, Ukrainian team of marathon, Ukrainian team, and starting today there will be an application form, and the participants can fill this form, and there will be a selection. It will be on the 29th of June in Kiev at one of the stadiums. We now try to find this stadium, and we will be provided with a final decision maybe today. So last year's marathon, it created a big inspiration, and this year it was easier for us to find sponsors, to find people who help us, and I would like to inform that Stone trademark helps us with a T-shirt and with the sports uniform. And for the marathon, there will be a special design of the uniform, and we will be happy. And we wait for the candidates first to join us through our web page to fill the form, and then there will be a contest, and the results about those who will come will be in July, and starting August we will organize the events connected with the buying tickets, with visas, and so on. So before giving the floor to one of the presidents of Allied Forces Foundation, I would like to say that all this is done due to charity foundations. In America, there is a special American and British foundation that supports the participation of wounded servicemen of the United States and Great Britain in such events. And last year, they provided the opportunity for our team to join this event for the first time. Before giving the floor to the president of this foundation, I would like you to watch the video once again about how this marathon was held, and a short video clip about this event. So the participants from Ukraine were seriously injured in events in Donbass, and they underwent rehabilitation, and today our participants, together with the participants from other countries, ran 10 kilometers, and this is one step ahead in their rehabilitation. And diaspora came to support Ukrainian servicemen, and this event is to commemorate those who died during the war action. So I came here to support everyone, to show that people can find interesting things in life. And for us, 10 kilometers we ran, and yes, I fell, but I won't die because of it. No, I just go ahead till the end to inspire others that if they fall, they should stand up and continue to run. So this is 100% will be watched by my parents, and I would like to say that they should be proud because they raised such a son. I am a military person, and I did it. Natalia Lonova, Dmitro Salchuk, Voice of America. And now I would like to hear the address of Stuart Taylor, Light Forces Foundation Director, and he is now in Scotland. 3 days ago, he completed the project in Scotland, also for the wounded servicemen, and he accompanied the group of wounded. And we are proud that Ukraine have good communication and relation with such people. And he was also wounded in military actions many years ago. So, please.
Yes, of course, and thank you very much for having me speak with yourselves and your Ukraine team today.
Стюарт дякує за те, що його запросили на цю прес-конференцію і що він разом з нашою українською командою організаторів цього марафону може сказати пару слів сьогодні.
Again, following last year's Marine Corps Marathon, we are deeply honored to have the Ukraine Defense Force join us this year.
Вони дуже раді ще раз запросити вже в цьому році, після минулогорічного марафону, українську команду прийняти участь ще раз.
In 2016, Ukraine sent a small team to take part with fellow allies and US forces running the Marine Corps Marathon.
Минулого року українська команда була дуже маленькою. Та команда, яка приймала участь у марафоні, організований Alliance Sources Foundations.
They were welcomed and were very much appreciated in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.
Дуже чекають і з великим задоволенням запрошують нашу команду до Вашингтону в цьому році.
All the participants from the Allied Forces Foundation taking part, Ukraine, Georgia, USA, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, all enjoyed the special event and the special relationships we have together.
В минулому році українська команда разом з командами із Сполучених Штатів Америки, Грузії, Великобританії, Канади і інших країн разом насолоджувалися цією подією.
And this year we look forward to having the Ukraine team run the marathon completely and run side by side their American, British and allied partners on this special occasion.
І в цьому році під час цієї дуже спеціальної особливої події знову ж таки нашу команду будуть раді бачити разом з учасниками інших команд.
The reason this is critical that the Ukraine forces come and join and run side by side their allies is to demonstrate to the US and the rest of the world that we are all in this fight together. We will not stand for tyranny, terrorism, or aggressors on other people's nations.
Ще одною з цілей цієї події є те, що військовослужбовці українські разом з своїми побратимами з інших країн можуть продемонструвати всьому світу про те, що вони всі разом зможуть протистояти тиранії, агресії, тероризму в цьому світі.
I would just like to finish by saying we are very excited again to have our Ukraine brothers and sisters joining us for the Marine Corps Marathon and also visiting special events within the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.
На заключення містер Стюарт Тейлор хоче сказати, що вони насправді в великому очікуванні і Вони дуже натхненні і дуже раді будуть вітати українську команду в цьому році. І також будуть раді разом з нашою командою приймати участь не тільки у марафоні, але і в багатьох інших запланованих подіях в Вашингтоні вже до і після марафону.
So I'd like to wish the Ukraine team coming to the Washington DC, the Marine Corps Marathon, Godspeed, and we are looking forward to seeing you soon.
Він благословляє нашу команду, щоб на все вийшло, і всі наші військові разом з іноземними військовими зустрілися в Вашингтоні в цьому році. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So Stuart said that this year and last year the teams that come from abroad, including Ukraine, they will participate not only in the marathon itself, but also in different events. They will visit Pentagon, the Congress, and they will meet with local activists, and there will be many events in the Ukrainian community in the United States. They will come from different states and they will support. So I would like to give the floor to the representative of the Ministry of Defense, the structural body that deals with the physical training of the servicemen of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Anatoly Pelech, and he will tell us several words about the place and the role of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine in this event. You are given the floor, please. Good afternoon, everyone. The question of rehabilitation of ADO participants is the priority for the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Concerning sports rehabilitation, this is a new area, and it is in the activity of the ministry, its department. It is under provision that it was adopted last year, and the Minister of Defense ordered to create a center for rehabilitation, and to create such a center on the Tsevets sports base, and also different programs of rehabilitation concerning physical training and sport for the servicemen. And all the interested parties can help those who can make major steps in the holding such events. And we are grateful for this marathon. And also about the preparation to the marathon, the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine is ready to cooperate in the selection process for the participation in this marathon. And they will be we can have this contest at the CSKA sport facility, the stadium, and this contest can be held there. And so we will involve proper specialists that will be able to professionally do their job and to organize this procedure of selection. So we invite everyone. And about the Ministry of Defense, we have an order of the State Secretary, and there will be the ministry will participate actively, and active servicemen, those who participate in anti-terror operation, they will be participating in the contest, and they want to take part in this marathon. And we want to invite people for the participation in order to select the most proper participants to popularize Ukraine at international arena. This very important sports event. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now the floor is given to one of the participants who ran 10 kilometers. We ran together, So I know each step of this distance, and I remember the last 500 meters. It was really difficult because there was a small hill, and he said maybe we should walk, but it was a real load for us. And I said, how can we walk if there is diaspora that is, and they wait they wait for us to arrive. So he said, okay, if they are there, so we should run. And then we, so when he was at the finish line, so you would never believe that he ran so hard. So it was really difficult. But for me, it was a real rehabilitation, this marathon. And I thank NATO that they provided the opportunity to be in the United States, to have these processes. And when I got it, I just cried. And I can now inspire others. And after this marathon, I really inspired others, because there is another side. After the war, you may be in sports, and it gives new sense to life. And all those events, this is rehabilitation for you, and also you can show to yourself that you can do it. And I hope that those who will go to this marathon, maybe they do not understand what it is. This is 10-kilometer marathon that we took part in. So this is a large-scale event. And after the marathon, you understand what you did. You ran for 10 kilometers, and you proved to others that you can do it, that you can inspire others. Yes, this is like this. So this process is, it really helps me, it inspires others, and it gives new sense to my life, and to really be involved in sports activities. And in Ukraine, it is really difficult to have this processes, because in Ukraine there is lack of this processes. And I would like to show to our deputies and to the power that we need this processes, and thus Ukrainian servicemen will be able to participate in Paralympic and other sports events, and also to take part in this marine marathon. So if we do not have these processes, we have a lot of people, they do not have these processes, but if they would have them, so they would be able to participate and win in these marathons. So last year, the marathon inspired me to inspire others, and no matter where I am, I emphasize this. Thank you. Okay, so this year, for the first time, not only 10 kilometers will be run by our servicemen, this will be the full marathon. This will be the guys who, and we have candidates for this 42-kilometer distance, and we find candidates. This is another challenge, but we have such people. And I would like to give the floor to one more participant, please. Olena Tsymbaliuk. I'm the representative of Canadian-Ukrainian Foundation of Support.
Why? We are among sponsors of this run, and we will be paying for visa fees when participants will go for their visas. So when Kateryna applied to us and asked what we can do, we engage in Ukraine in processes development. We have been training Ukrainian processes and modern processes applications. So on August 5th, there will be from 24th of July till 5th of August, we will be training Ukrainian processes experts to make sports processes. So within our project 5 military men and with the lost extremities and 10 military men with mutilated high extremities will get processes. So sports processes will be created for them, and on the basis of state-owned enterprise in Dnipropetrovsk, we will train Ukrainian processes to create sports processes for our servicemen. We would like to thank all other organizations, partners who are ready to help our servicemen to self-realize. And thank you very much. Together with us, among our panelists is Dmitro Fisenko, our ex-runner of the last year's marathon. You can see how a runner looks like. He is an example for other persons. This is not just rehabilitation, this is an additional sense of living. I would like to thank sponsors of the last year. They made a lot for us. NATO offices in Kiev sponsored us last year. They paid for our air ticket. They were also sponsors who gave us money for sports uniforms and who helped our stay in Washington. And we are thankful to various groups who help us this year, and we hope to represent Ukraine properly this year. This help to engage attention to our war, to our country, to our armed forces. Are there any questions? We are ready to answer your questions. Good afternoon, Pavlo Manantov, an injured ATO serviceman. Maybe I have overheard. What are the dates of the marathon? This year it would be on October 22nd. End of October traditionally is a week in the USA, the third week of the marathon is held on October 22nd. Yushkevich Maxim Battalion, Kiev and Ras 11th Battalion. What about the distance? Does the person choose the distance? 42 kilometers or 10 kilometers? We have been provided the place for our team. We have places for those persons with mutilations. They can run only 10-kilometer distance, and also there will be cyclist distance for 10 kilometers, and there are places for our team for 10 persons for 42-kilometer distance. It depends on how many persons we will find. If, for example, there would be 8 persons for 42-kilometer distance, then there will be 42-kilometer distance for 8 members of our team. Last year, all our members passed only 10 kilometers. Georgian team last year took part also. They started 1 year prior to us. And first they brought for 10 kilometers the runners without extremities. They didn't understand that 42 kilometers as a distance. They thought the distance would be half marathon. So they took part in the full marathon distance of 42 kilometers. Dmitro Moroz, 5th TV channel, I have a question to you, Mr. Military attache. Is there any understanding about the nominated runners, and what are criteria for selection of the nominated persons? You can see now on the screen our Facebook details. There we have application forms. You can fill out application forms, and also some people can call us by phone. We have already phone applications from runners and cyclists. The selection for 10 places, we will have 10 applicants per each place in our team. So just try to imagine what the selection contest will be. We will conduct transparent contest so that nobody hesitate that our selection was transparent. The first criteria is there should be 80 participants in combats and injured persons. First of all, we do not exclude that we can take a video of killed servicemen. A video last year said that she is ready to run 42 kilometers. She can demonstrate an example to other persons. The goal of this contest is to demonstrate example and the light at the end of the tunnel to other persons. So the number of our participants will grow with time if we demonstrate good practices. Other countries have 50 or 100 persons in their team. I was very glad to see last year when we were running along with Vadym, when U.S. sportsmen, U.S. athletes passed us, they stopped and they didn't know even when we were injured in Ukraine. They asked whether it happened during training, our injuries. People were surprised. They didn't know about our war. So this event will also have public awareness function. Every person in the world lives with his or her own problems, so there are few people who know what is happening in Ukraine, so this is a good chance for Ukrainians to communicate information about Ukraine. When applications will be accepted, and on June 29th, the first selection stage commences. The deadline is July 30. By July 30, we should provide the list of all our runners to the marathon organizers. Last year, we started in July, and we were short of time last year, so this year we have more time. By 29th, we should start preparation to the competition. Are there any more questions? Well, so I will finalize looking into the eyes of the future participants and our panelists. I am sure that you are running all the time in your events of your day, so I wish you every success.